So first update on the beta. I'm kind of winging this, so apologies. But here's the beta. Everyone is always like, wasn't this rideable a couple of days ago? What'd you do? I'm sure Harry's at home like, what'd you do to my bike? But you know, you guys know me. I like to sort things before I actually rely on them to get me through the woods. So yeah, it's a high mileage bike, and I'll show you why in a second, but let me give you a quick update. I've ordered some stuff from Beta USA, as I revealed in the last video. I also I went through a lot of work actually to try to find a local suspension company that could work on this. And I could find Öhlins people, and I could find some Sachs ZF people, but I could not find someone that could do both. And I really wanted the same person to do the valving for me, or same company. So I bit the bullet and took the fork and the rear shock out. So here is the front ZF suspension. And this is an expensive kit. So you can actually order this combo today at the Öhlins TTX or RTX in the front. If you go to order a new beta and you pick the upgraded component, if you pick a race bike, you do a BYO beta program and they'll swap stuff out. It's $1,800 or $1,900 to upgrade a race bike to this combo, the factory tuned front fork and the Öhlins rear shock. So pricey stuff. To have it revalved, so to do the fork service is $550, to do the rear shock service is like $350, but then I also added in new fork springs and new rear spring to my weight. And so in total, to have Beta do it, I'm mailing this to California. Luckily, they do 2-day USPS included in this price. They're mailing me a box today. I'm trying to get to the point here. They're mailing me a box today. Actually, I think it just pulled up. I'll put this in, and then it's 2-day shipping back to California, 9-day turnaround time, but that will be basically full tear down cleaning. They will not recoat these forks, unfortunately, but they will replace the springs and the oil and the shims and valve it to me, etc. So it's a good service they offer, but unfortunately mailing it to California, which is not good for the environment, but it is what it is. All right, next thing is this in my truck, but this came with, this is not my style. Harry had Michelin Moose bib moose, and in the tires, and he had, in my opinion, cheap Chinese Tusk tires. I just don't use Tusk products. They're shit. So they're shit. So I want to use Moto Z's more softer enduro tires like Moto Z. I like running tubes. I don't want to use the Moose bib Moose because you can't run it on the road. It gets hot, and I want air pressure. It's just preference. So I ordered Moto Z tires and not medium duty tubes for Moto Z. So I'm going to take the tires onto Claremont to have the new tires and tubes put in. So that'll be done. And also they need to be balanced. Harry said they weren't balanced because it's just a trail bike. So he never balanced the wheels. But I ride to the trail, which is only 10 minutes away. But I want to be able to go on the road, bib moose. It gets really hot on the road. And because the tires aren't balanced, because they were a trail bike, it wouldn't be safe to ride on the road. So anyway, new tires and tubes. So that's off now. I did want to show you, so while we're here, I've been taking the bike apart. So to pull the Öhlins shock, you got to take this exhaust out, which is fine. I'm not going to replace the exhaust this year. I'll do it next year. But you can just see how, things are dirty. This frame, I'm going to replace it this winter, I think, actually, the frame. Because I'll show you. You can see here. Well, I mean, there's going to be scratches, right? You're going to have some scratches because it's used. But the issue I have with this frame is Harry said it was dinged up or dented. And I can promise you he's right. Here is so there's where the boot scratches up. That's going to start rusting. But here is the damage right there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's still tubular. It's just an inverted tube, but it's not flattened out. He said it rides fine. I was like that when he got it. Fine. Some people have different versions of what they will put up with. I will not put up with that level of damage, and so yeah, I'm having it replaced. So the frame is $1,200. I'm still way ahead, guys. It's a $4,000 bike. I'm still way ahead once I do all this work. $1,200. There's a guy in Stratford, New Hampshire that for $1,000 will tear down dirt bikes completely to the frame and service and replace all the bushings and anything that's worn. He'll clean it up. He'll bead blast everything and get it all very, like, basically good as new. And so he says, don't put plastics on it. You bring him the plastics and the decals. I'm going to bring him the frame. We haven't talked yet, but I emailed him. I'm going to bring him the frame, and also I'll have already done the ignition cover and the Recluse clutch and the clutch cover. I've done all that service already. And so I'll bring him the frame and have him basically use that. Hopefully it comes painted. I need to call Beta and ask. But if it comes painted, that's great. If not, he'll paint it. But yeah, I'm going to have him basically replace the frame. And the motor's fine. So while he's in there, I might have him do the top end. I don't know. I'll talk to him about that. But that's going to be a part of the service. But I already have stuff like this chain guard coming. You saw the chain guard's kind of eaten up. I just have stuff coming. It's okay. It's okay to have stuff, replaced. All in all, suspension. And the thing I was telling Heather, she knows this already, but the thing I was telling Heather, if I were to go buy a 390 race today, it's $12,000. I would have spent $2,000 for the race spec suspension kit. I would have spent $500 for the Moto Z tires and tubes. And the rest of the stuff I would have bought anyway. I would have added the fuel tank. I would have added the Recluse. I would have added the radiator kit and the race impeller for the water cooling. And I would have added all this stuff. So for me, getting the bike for $4,000 and spending $3,000 or $4,000 getting it sorted, it's coming out way ahead for me. So I'm actually really, seriously, I'm not, you guys are like, this is a ridiculous project. It's not that bad. It's actually a pretty good project. But here's the Beta. Long video. I'm so sorry for talking so long, but this is the current status. I've owned it for 3 days and it's already in this status. But good news, these forks and shock go in today. Tomorrow the tires get replaced. In 2 weeks I'll have the bike ready to ride from that perspective. But once I get it off the lift, I'm gonna go through all the fluids. I ordered some touch-up paint from Beta, but probably don't even need it. I'm just gonna not touch the paint up and just leave it as is, because it's going to get replaced, I think, in the winter time. It's a winter project. But we're getting there. I actually, there's some stuff I should have ordered, but I'm not going to go wild. I'm just getting some stuff in a place where I feel it's good. It's good to ride. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. That's the Beta update. I did manage to get all the Trail Tech stuff sorted. I also ordered the Speedo sensor that in the Beta has a Speedo sensor like conversion plug that plugs into the speed sensor this here. So I'll have Trail Tech, I'll have my Speedo wired in. But bike is great. You just needed to get sorted. It's okay. And Harry's right. It was ready to ride. I could totally just take it on the trail this weekend and ridden it around. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do it properly. That's just how I roll. All right, that's the update. Okay, let's do another zip tie.
Okay.
All right, pull this one out. All the way out. Yep. Good. Now, where do you want to put it? Right here? Okay. We're going to put this through right here. Watch me. Put this through. Hey, pull that end. Pull this side. Yep. Other piece. Nope. Right here. There you go. Now pull. Pull right there. Yep. You did it. You tied it on.
I did.
Good job.